Hi guys, welcome to another new episode of Revelations, and today we are going to see about Abraham's faith. The topic is Abraham's faith. The situation is in Genesis 18, we could read that the Lord appeared to Abraham. So Abraham and Sarah, they didn't have a son. So God appeared to them when they were, to him by the terebinth tree of Mamre. So when Abraham lifted up his eyes, he could see three people standing in front of him. And they had come to renew the promise to Abraham and Sarah, saying that by this time next year, they would have a son. So we all know the story of Abraham and Sarah, that how they didn't have a son, but when Abraham was almost 99 years, Isaac was born, and God's promise did, come to pass. So when God came to renew the promise along with his angels, we could see that Abraham offered them food to eat. So you could read that in 4 to 8. Now, please, Abraham said, "My Lord, if I have found favor in your sight, do not pass on by your servant." So I'm explaining to you the situation here. Please let a little water be brought. So the first is they're bringing water. The second is, and wash your feet and rest yourselves under the tree. And I will bring a morsel of bread that you may refresh your hearts, and after that you may pass by, inasmuch as you have come to your servant. And then later we could read that they made bread using butter. They got butter, and then meat was served. So now I want to compare. Explanation is, the promise was not fulfilled yet, only the word was spoken. So when do we need faith? Faith is needed before we receive the promise, not after we receive it. So here, God came to renew his promise. The promise was already made, but again, God came into to renew and to, comfort. Probably Abraham and Sarah, they were a little bit down. So God, along with his angels, he came to comfort them by saying that the promise is about to happen. So, have that faith still. So now I want to compare faith to the food Abraham offered to God and his angels. So first, what did he serve? He served water to wash their legs. So first, our faith would be like water, pretty shaky and, liquidy, not strong enough. And then the next level of faith is, we could read that he gave bread to eat. So bread is a little bit solid, but still soft, to eat. So see, from water to bread, see the evolution of faith, that happened there. And then third is meat. Meat is solid fully. How? The first thing is water is completely liquid and there is no solid structure in that. So faith is, the beginning, the beginning faith is like water, pretty, shaky and all that. The second level of faith is like the bread. The middle part is softer, but the outer is a little bit, stiffer. And the third level of faith is like meat, completely solid, and there is no, shaky thing or softness in that. So see, this is how our faith should, increase each passing day. How does our faith increase? By listening to the voice of God, by meditating on his word, and by spending time with him. Our faith will keep increasing. When you get to know God first, definitely no one can say my faith is like that of meat. We tend to fall away, we tend to doubt, and then there comes the next level. When God fulfills certain promises, we come to the second level of faith, that is like the bread. We're like, yes, God will do it, God will do it. And then sometimes after, you'll be like, pretty stronger, and suddenly when things start to, get slow or something, you tend to get, oh, will that happen? But then there comes, then when God fulfills again, there comes the third level of faith. No matter what, how long, whatever it takes, the God who promised is faithful, and he will do as promised, and it becomes like meat, completely solid. It's the final level will be like, no matter if God does it or he's not going to do it, I will only trust in the Lord, the God who created me and who has given me life. So that is the final level of faith. No matter the situation or circumstances, your faith will always be still in God. You might fall down, but you'll again rise up back and say, my Lord, you are the only one I trust. So that is the level, the meat level of faith, I would say. So yes, again said, and then we could read that the life of how Abraham and Sarah changed, how Isaac was born, and the blessing, came to pass, and they were multiplied and flourished. So the conclusion is, let your faith increase each day in the Lord, because the Lord who promised you is faithful and He's never gonna let you fail. So I believe this encouraged you and strengthened you. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I'll meet you again with a new revelation. Until then, take care. Bye bye. God bless.